Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. KermMartian here, back with Train Simulator 2017. This is episode 4 of my live streaming adventures. Let's call it KermMartian Live number 4. It is episode 16 of my Train Simulator 2017 series, so the 16th video that I made of me playing Train Simulator. It's been a lot more fun with you guys tagging along and providing commentary and feedback along the way. So I'm happy to welcome you all back. I see that there are 4 of you watching now, and hopefully we'll collect more as we go. I know a couple of people said they want to stop in, but they're currently doing things like making dinner. I myself just finished making some tea, so I would have some country appropriate refreshment as I drive my trains here. In fact, I should take that tea bag out of my tea soon because I don't want to oversteep it. I'm also going to try turning my air conditioner on, and I'm going to ask you guys to tell me just how terrible it is, just how loud and obnoxious it is, because last time it got a little bit stuffy in my room while I was playing. It is quite the middle of summer here in New York, so heat and humidity abound even in the evening once the sun has gone down, which is what it is at the moment. I have some delicious Fox tea from Trader Joe's. I call it Fox tea. It is cranberry autumn tea. It is quite tasty stuff. So today we are going to be driving, well, we're going to start anyway with the Class 77, the EMU Southern, well, it's an EMU, and we're going to drive it in Southern colors because we will be driving the London to Brighton route. As I did in episode 13, we were driving a rainy fast service from Brighton to London. Today I believe we're going to be going in the opposite direction. We're going to do the Seaside Express. So without further ado, let us get this show on the road. I took a look at the North Jersey Coast and Morristown line DLC for Train Simulator as recommended by one of my viewers at the end of episode 15, my live number 3 video. I see that it's currently $40 even if you do already have the North Jersey Coast line. So I decided to hold off for just the immediate moment. Hopefully that will go on sale sometime soon. One hopes. It's certainly on my Steam wishlist now. And yeah, I might have had the chance to ride that train in the recent past, this past weekend as a matter of fact, but I was convinced to, shocker of shockers, take a bus instead of a train. It worked pretty well on my way there because it went fast. It went about twice as fast as the train would, but on the way back there was an accident at the Lincoln Tunnel, and the bus took just as long as the train with much less comfort. Good evening, driver. Tonight you will be running the fast service between London, Victoria, and Brighton, calling at Clapham Junction, East Croydon, Gatwick, and Haywards Heath. Good luck. It's time to let the passengers board the train. Go ahead and open the doors. So, doors are open. Train is in forward. AWS is cancelled. And here we are in nighttime London Victoria Station. And I'm going to hop out of my train car moment so we can look around. There's what do we have over there? Not quite nighttime, actually. Just dark under there. It's sunset. Beautiful. We have a Class 375. I should know that by now. Do not cross the tracks. Don't do it. Don't touch the live rails either. Class 375 inching out in front of us. Here we are in our Class 377. Got a number of Class 377s here. 377402, 377463. Got another Class 377 over here. Hello, ladies. 377411 pulling in. Anyway, I see that our train is ready to go. We have a green light, so let's release our brakes and get going. Our next stop is Clapham Junction, platform 13 at 7:36 p.m. We currently have a speed restriction of 20 miles an hour leaving London, Victoria, so let's keep an eye on that. Since we're going to be doing some nighttime running, I'll get my headlights on, and off we go. Lay off the accelerator just a bit as we get out from under this little roofy thing here into the British sunset. Ooh, that's pretty. It's especially pretty on my top monitor that I'm playing on, but that also looks very pretty in the preview that I have of what you guys are going to see. And we are inching up towards 20 miles an hour. Let us lay off that. Not quite that much. Let's not put the brakes on yet. One hopes that green light is for us. Yes, indeed it is. Hovering a little bit under 20. Let's get that speed up again as we leave London, Victoria. In fact, I'm going to move... Ooh, that was close to speeding. I'm going to move this camera outside so you can be deafened. Get a beautiful screenshot or two. Oh, that is what is up. That is what screenshots should look like. Yeah. Screenshot and sunset. So, I probably mentioned this on my stream before, but I love photographing sunsets. I love photographing trains. This is both. This is trains and sunsets. I've only managed to get a few real-life combination photos of trains and sunsets. It's definitely something I need to work on. We can go up to 40 miles an hour now. And let us do so we'll be on time. A little bit more. I'll go straight to 100. We have 2 miles till we get to Clapham Junction. And we're currently estimated to be about a minute late, so let's fix that. We're also entering a 45 zone. AWS is A-OK. The light there says we have the high ball, and we are not switching over to the left. Oop, about to speed. Oh, that was close. That was close. Should we aim for a perfect score today? We should aim for a perfect score today, certainly. Whether that is successful or not remains to be seen. You may have noticed on that main menu that today is a 4-pip route, a 4 out of 5 difficulty. The orange, this is going to be difficulty. So let's see what happens. Gotta keep my eye on the signals. Gotta keep my eye out for unexpected circumstances. We're rolling through a station at the moment. I did not see what that said. Something Park, I think. I'm afraid I did not see that. Onward we go. Off towards Clapham Junction with a beautiful sunset outside. I can't get over how beautiful this sunset is rendered. That's just good stuff. Can't take enough screenshots of this. Get our speed back up again. AWS says ding. And I am still enjoying my tea. I keep noticing Michael's little note there at the top left of my screen. Oops, speeding. Alright, no perfect score for us today. This is what happens when I go out and try to enjoy the view. Well, I'm still accelerating. Oh, I'm going downhill. Sorry about that. There's minus 16. Let's hope that's the last minus of the day. But I want to really drive from outside. I'll just have to keep a close eye on things. Ooh, that's super elevation. Look at that. Look at that super elevation with the sunset behind it. Just so nice. Just 0.69 miles until Clapham Junction. We're entering a 60. Can't quite accelerate to that 60, especially since we're going to have to stop soon. Signal is green ahead of us. We have no AWS warnings. I'll give us a little extra speed before we start stopping for Clapham Junction. We are still predicted to be late, although I believe that's nonsense. I'm going to start decelerating now and hop back into my train. Throw on some brakes. Enter at about 37 as I like to. Continue decelerating nicely and see if I can find... Let's see, we have an 8-car train today. See if I can find the 8-car marker and do this properly. There's the 6-car marker. There is the 8, 10, 12 car marker. I'm close enough. I'm going to call it there. We want to be on time. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Clapham Junction. If Clapham Junction is your final destination, we recommend you disembark here. Change here for trains to a whole bunch of other places. We've got our nice white, mint, and yellow southern livery as we head towards Brighton. Some of these doors are closing and it's not ours. Who was that? It's this guy. Take a look at this class 450 over here in that rather interesting livery, which you'll note did not have a name on it. My understanding is they did not have permission to use this particular company's name when they released this route pack. I think they do now. Anyway, here we are waiting at platform 13 at Clapham Junction, waiting for our passengers to get on the train before we can get going to, I believe, East Croydon is next. Hello there, John Bush. Welcome to the stream. You join us at Clapham Junction, driving a Class 377 as we head from London to Brighton. Guard says it's okay to go. Let's go. We currently have a speed limit of 60 miles an hour, and to avoid wheel spin, I will keep our accelerator at about 40% until we get some speed up. That seems good. As I said, we have an 8-car train of Class 377 EMUs today, so we can expect some pretty responsive acceleration and deceleration. Let's go full power as we head towards 60 miles an hour, 7 2/3 miles to East Croydon, platform 3. We are heading south on the Brighton down lines, away from London. I am drinking, well, I call it Fox tea. It is Trader Joe's Cranberry Autumn Tea. It's very tasty. I do highly recommend it. First got hooked on it 2 years ago when they had it for autumn. I stocked up. I know other people who have stocked up a little bit more seriously than I, but I've still managed to keep a stock of it in between autumns. Just about 60 miles an hour, so let's keep an eye on that. Got the highball. 70 mile an hour limit in 3/4 of a mile as we go through this little small cut here. Very similar to the Long Island Railroad when it's just a bit east of the city but not quite out on Long Island yet. Riding through Queens, very similar sort of cut. Similar width of right-of-way too. This looks to be what, 1, 2, 3, 4 tracks. Yeah, it usually varies between 4 and 6 tracks through there. Make sure we keep that speed up and not speeding as we round this nice little bend. We are passing through a station that I'm sure I'm going too fast to read the name of. Yep, accurate. I could pause it, but Got another Class 377 off to our left. Oddly enough, in fact, because this being Britain, we are left running, but I think the way it's organized here is we have the fast lines on the right, which is where we are, and the slow lines on the left. All right, now we can head right up to that 70 mile an hour mark, 70 mile an hour limit. So let me throw us into full power. Also, welcome to the stream, Proteum Oxide. Good to have you with us. Got some beautiful lighting in the station as we roll through. I was just commenting on how lovely the sunset is. It's really amazing. Yes, I'm going to keep us at 100 because we're not at 70 yet. Really pretty indeed. Especially when we get some of that super elevation action going. Screenshots for days. Hello, Brian K. Trains indeed. And I got another 20 there because I was not paying attention. I was looking at the sunset instead of my speedometer. That's minus 36 so far, if anybody's keeping count. So from now on, I'm not going to lose any points, right? That's the plan. Get a little bit more speed up because we're at 67 now. This is supposedly a relatively challenging scenario. You know, there's the whole keeping under the speed limits thing, but we'll see if anything interesting happens along the way. Weather-wise, train traffic-wise, mechanical failure-wise. You never know what kind of interesting challenges they have for us. I haven't played this particular scenario before. I played the route, of course, the London to Brighton route. I've even played it before on this. Well, I played it on my channel, and I played it on my streaming set of videos, this being my 4th. This is my 16th Train Simulator 2017 episode, as I said earlier in this stream. Just about at 70 miles an hour, so let's just maintain 4 1/3 miles to East Croydon Platform 3, after which I believe we have a pretty straight run all the way to Brighton. I like this bridge over here. A little bit of lag there because I do run Train Simulator, unfortunately, off a spinning piece of rust rather than an SSD. I cannot afford the massive SSD I would need for my Train Simulator routes. as we pass through another station. I should really pull up the route map for the London to Brighton line again. I like keeping track of the stations that we're rolling through. London Brighton route map. I've even searched for it before. Let's get some more speed up. We're at 62. Also, I need to be careful not to knock my tea over while I'm driving my trains in my excitement. I should put it off to the side. But first I'll take a sip. Delicious tea. Very appropriate. So, London Brighton route map. Let's see. 66. This time I'll pause so we can orient ourselves as to where we are. Where is a... There we go. We are at Norbury. Alright. Now we know. Unpause. Norbury, we're also at 70 miles an hour. So let's put our accelerator into neutral, our throttle rather into neutral. Just 3 miles now till East Croydon. And come on. London to Brighton route map stops. Southern. Surprisingly hard to Google, as a matter of fact. It gives me everything else, like biking routes and car routes. Southern Rail, GXSN routes. That looks like what I want. Southern Rail routes. No Foxit, you're not allowed to modify things. Alright. So, that was Norbury. Next stop is Thornton Heath and then Selhurst. And then East Croydon. Get some speed back up. So this will be Thornton Heath coming up. With just 2 miles to East Croydon. And we also have a 60 mile an hour zone coming up. Let me keep an eye on that and my speed. I saw that as it happened. Oh dear. Here we go under some buildings. I love that. I love when trains go under buildings. That's another thing that the Long Island Railroad has. AWS says be aware of the speed limit, and I shall be. That's another thing the Long Island Railroad has. A couple of buildings it goes under in Queens. As a matter of fact, the Metro North has that as well. It goes under a couple of buildings in the Bronx. We are well under that 60, so I'll actually get us back accelerating again. That was not too smoothly done. My apologies. 39%. That'll help. Then coming up, we have Selhurst. And then just 1 1/3 miles to East Croydon. 58, 59, and 60. Throttle it idle. Got a 45 coming up, and then East Croydon. East Croydon has quite a tight bend in it, so we certainly don't want to be going fast as we head through East Croydon. As the sun gradually sets on this British evening. I believe I saw at the beginning of this route that this is a clear autumn evening, and that's what it looks like. That's exactly what it looks like. AWS says 45 mile an hour zone coming up, and I say A-OK. Very nice, very nice. Down for the 45. Put us in idle. Hello, class 3770 waiting for us. What are you doing? You're just kind of hanging out there. There are definitely some people on that train. Weird. Maybe it was waiting for us. Well, they have a yellow. I don't know why they're not going. We have a green. We are in that 45 now. I'll start bringing us... Nah. This thing stops fast enough that I'm not going to bring us down until we start getting into the platform. We have 8 cars today, so let me look for that 8-car marker again and see how professional I can be. Let's start decelerating now. 60%. I may have left that a little bit long, but I think we'll be okay. Yeah, we'll be okay. Platform 3. A little less deceleration. Coast in. There's the 4-6 car marker. The 8 car marker is going to be at the end of the platform. 12 miles an hour. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. There we go. This will be good. Perfect. I suspect that turned out quite well. Doors open. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are at Croydon. This is East Croydon. As always, if East Croydon is your final stop, we ask that you disembark here. And because of that odd perspective from inside the train, you see that I actually managed to make it just about where I wanted to. Ah, excellent. Excellent indeed. I thought I had overshot it. Undershot it rather. I undershot it a little bit, but not bad, not bad. Also, this continues to impress on me just how small British trains are compared to U.S. trains. Although I suppose not that much smaller than U.S. subways. New York subways, anyway. But I'm prattling, so let us continue. Next stop is Gatwick Airport. Oh, of course we have to stop at Gatwick. So let's get going. Got to stay under that 45 until we make it fully out of East Croydon. We have 16 miles to Gatwick Airport, so we should be able to take it easy as long as we stay under the speed limits. I don't expect anything terribly crazy to happen. We're doing third rail running in our Class 377 today, of course, because that is what the Class 377 has. I don't believe the Class 377 has a pantograph. Am I wrong about that? It's got an inset there for a pantograph, but it doesn't look like it's outfitted with one. So presumably you could add a pantograph to these chassis, but they haven't. We're heading up towards 45 and also crossing into a 60 mile an hour zone, so maybe I can just glide smoothly into that 60 zone without laying off the accelerator, and that appears to be the case. Very nice, beautiful. Heading up towards 60, followed by 90. We're on the fast lines, which are off to the right. How long have I been playing Train Simulator? That's a good question. I've been playing about 2 years now, I think. I think just under 2 years. I first got Train Simulator 2015. It became Train Simulator 2016 shortly thereafter. There's a difference between being good at Train Simulator and being good at particular routes. I mean, there's a certain amount of... We're about to start speeding. A certain amount of knowledge that kind of carries through between all the routes. It's a little bit different driving electric trains, diesel trains, steam trains. Steam trains I am not very good at yet. We discovered that on a recent stream number 2, I believe. Yes, it was stream number 2, where I was pressured by some of my viewers to drive steam trains. It went okay, but not great. Not great indeed. Let's get up to that 90 mile an hour mark. To answer your question, I have driven lots of EMUs. I've driven lots of British trains, and I have spent a great deal of time on the London to Brighton route, which is what I'm playing right now. So there's this kind of an equal calculus of knowledge of the particular train that you're driving, knowledge of the particular route that you're driving, and just knowledge of Train Simulator and train driving in general. Some of my longtime viewers will know that I have also driven trains in real life, not for any particular length of time or distance, but I have, so I know the basics. I think that was South Croydon that we went through, by the way, so I think this is Purley Oaks that's coming up here. 75 miles an hour out of 90. Did that look like it said Purley Oaks? It kind of did. Let's claim that was Purley Oaks. 78 miles an hour. Thank you for saying so, the last millennial. That's very kind of you to say. Of course, I'm always happy to take suggestions on routes, trains, and even to some extent games to play. I pretty much only put Minecraft and Train Simulator videos on my channel. The other game that I frequently play is Heroes of the Storm with my good friend, I'd say best friend, startup co-founder and calculator programming buddy, ElfPrince13, but I tend not to record and stream that. Ding! AWS is ding. I believe this is Purley that we're heading through right now. And we're just about at 90 miles an hour, so let's keep an eye on that. Let's not decelerate, though. I also haven't done a lot of nighttime driving, at least for you guys. I mean, I've done some nighttime driving in Train Simulator in general. I've done no nighttime driving in real trains in real life. That's a story for another day. They're making this game increasingly beautiful. Like, I like the sunset lighting effects of the streetlights starting to spring up in the countryside. Oh, we're going to start speeding in the relatively near future if I don't keep an eye on that. And the houses tend to get beautiful lights as the night approaches, as the sun sets. As dusk falls would be the most poetic way to say that. Yes, indeed. So, but more specifically, if you have trains and routes that you're interested in me playing in Train Simulator, I'm more than happy to do so. This is a 50 minute route that I'm driving right now, London to Brighton Fast Express, we would call it here in the US. Fast service, non-stop service. I was talking earlier in the stream about being very interested in the new North Jersey Coast Morristown line, because I frequently ride that in real life to visit my friend Geekboy1011 and Chemetrek administrator. It's funny how the Chemetech community has turned into so many real life friendships as well. Not to mention how many people are within a few dozen or a few hundred miles of me in the community. That's how population density works, I suppose. As we try to keep it around 90 miles an hour, heading towards Gatwick Airport in 10.5 miles. So I decided to hold off on getting that for now, that route that I just mentioned, because it was $40, and I'd rather wait until it goes on sale. I certainly have plenty of things to play in Train Simulator otherwise. Subtransit, the subway sim, when it comes out, I have to do your research presumably on Train Sim routes. Yes, there are many, many, many Train Sim routes. It would cost you several thousands of dollars if you tried to buy them all. I have not. I don't plan to. Subtransit looks amazing. If you haven't seen it, you should go take a look at it. The author of Subtransit posted a topic on the Chemetech forum showing off some of the things he was working on. Extremely accurate physical simulation of currently, I believe it's only Moscow subway trains. He did a really, really great job of making everything about the train fully accurately simulated, from the mechanical aspects of the train and tracks to the electrical aspects to even things like pneumatics. So you should definitely check that out. It's been a while since I've taken a look at his Steam Greenlight page, but the last I saw of it, it was looking truly stunning. I should also get him to come and make an update on Chemetech, or post in his topic and ask how things are going with it. So yes, when it comes out, I will definitely, if I can, with a reasonable price, get a copy of it. I will definitely give it a try on my channel and record some videos. I also am very interested, and I said this in my last video, I'm very interested in playing Train Simulator World, their commuter service, their passenger service that's going to come out. I tried the CSX Heavy Haul freight route last year when they were beta-ing that. It was way heavy for my machine. I think they have a lot of optimization to do. I don't know if it was polygon count or what. I suspect it was. I suspect they just made their locomotives a little too detailed. 7.5 miles to Gatwick, by the way, as we roll through this countryside. So I hope they fix that by the time the next set of routes comes out. I will definitely look for reviews. I'm very sorely tempted to pre-order it, though. We're about to start speeding, given that it is, I believe, about 60 or 70% off for pre-ordering. We shall see, though. We are rolling through a very picturesque little British English town right now as we head towards Gatwick Airport. 85 miles an hour, let's fix that. We also have an 80 limit coming up, though, so I'll have to be careful of that. So far, the signals have been very much in our favor. Nothing in particular has happened, other than a couple of speed limit changes, from which I lost, I think I'm at minus 36 now. Hopefully I didn't lose anything else. AWS says ding. So we're okay for the next couple of signals. Nearing that 90 mile an hour mark again, although we do have the 80 coming up, so let's start, let's not quite decelerate for it, but let's start thinking about it. 83, 82, we might be okay. 81, there we go, 80. And there's the 80 mile an hour zone. Now up a little incline here and back into a 90. I wonder what that's about. Have you played any train games before the last millennial? Actually, in general, I'm curious if you guys have played any train games, Train Simulator or otherwise before. What your favorites are, if you've played Train Simulator, if you have some favorite routes. Ooh. As all 8 cars of our train roll past. I was just curious to check out what station we're at here. This is Earlswood. Heading back into my train so we don't start speeding. If I pull up my map again that I have on my laptop, Earlswood. So we just have Salfords, Horley, and then Gatwick Airport. And then, of course, a whole bunch of stations, until we get to Brighton. I've also tried Railroad Tycoon in the past and enjoyed it a lot. I've played Trains with a Z, 2012, although I only played that for a few minutes. It seemed pretty fun. I'm not sure why I didn't really play it any further. Hello there, Conrail guy. Good to have you with us. I think it was mostly because the train simulator routes were so much more developed than the equivalent trains routes, although I certainly support an open source train game, since many of my regular viewers know that I am co-founder and CEO of a startup that works on creating virtual video game accessible, applicable models of the real world. That putting the real world into things like train simulator is something I'm very interested in, especially doing so automatically so we can have long hundreds of mile routes without the current months to years it takes to build out one of these routes by hand. Currently it takes something like a person week to make a virtual model of like a quarter mile of one of these particular routes, placing all the trees, the signals, the tracks, the buildings, everything else. I am in a Southern Class 377. If I take you to the front of my train, 377402. We're driving this fast service from London, Victoria, down to Brighton on a pretty clear and beautiful, I believe it's a fall-autumn evening. So far, we've had nothing in particular happen other than a few tiny speeding incidents, nothing terrible. We will see what happens in the rest of this route. It was given a 4 out of 5 difficulty rating in the career route listing, so we'll see why that is. So far, I haven't seen any particular evidence as to why that would be a 4 out of 5 difficulty. We have an 8-car Class 377 EMU consist today, so plenty of weight behind us and plenty of passengers, but since it's an EMU, we also have quite a decent acceleration and stopping power. Gatwick Airport is crawling onto our screen now. About 1 2/3 miles till we have to stop at the end of that platform. We have a 30-mile-an-hour limit entering the platform, so I'll try to get down right for that 30. In fact, it's probably time to start laying off the throttle. Maybe not quite decelerating yet, though. Another high ball as the sun sets for real. Let's do a little bit more enthusiastic deceleration. 80. This might be a little too enthusiastic. This would be Horley that we're rolling through now, I believe. Horley, yes indeed. So much easier to read signs when you know what they're going to say. GeoPipe is going to be so beneficial to every game software that has cities. I'm excited to see what new roads it takes developers. No pun intended, right? Yes, me too. I'm very excited about it, both as a game developer. Well, I dabble in game development. I've never done it professionally, but it's certainly been a very fun hobby of mine. You're most welcome, Conrail guy. Thank you for subscribing. Good to have you with us. 40 miles an hour. I think we're getting right down for that 30, as we should. I aim to make pretty quality videos. I hope when you get a chance, you will go back and take a look at some of my previous Train Simulator videos. This is my 16th Train Simulator 2017 video. And the 4th of my live streams. It's quite fun to play with you guys along for the ride. I can concentrate a little bit more on things like looking up information and sharing details of my trains and my route when I am playing by myself, but it doesn't quite have the same interactivity. Let's see if... I'm sure the 8-car marker is going to be right around the end of the platform. So, hello there, JMO444. Good to have you with us. There's a plane flying into Gatwick as we try to stop properly at the end of this platform. You will see, JMO444, that I am driving an EMU once again. I'm sure much to your consternation, since you want me to drive more steam trains. I haven't gotten a chance to do as much practice as I'd want to do on that, though. Let's stop here. This seems like a good place to stop. A little bit over the 10-car marker there, but close enough. Doors open. This is an 8-car train. I figured I'd go close to the end of the platform. As always, I must show you the largest British Rail logo in the system, even though British Rail is now totally defunct. But here's that giant logo on top of the overpass there. So, now you know. Now you know, indeed, largest British Rail logo anywhere. We are running right on time today. Right on time indeed. Here at Gatwick. Timeliness bonus 150. Doors are closing. Presumably the guard says we can go. I didn't hear it, but off we go. Excellent, Conrail. Glad to hear that. Given your name, I presume you're a Conrail fan. I'm more in the loss of Conrail. I don't know which I like better, the Conrail livery or the CSX livery. From what I've heard, CSX is currently going down the tubes, so I don't anticipate that. I don't know what I don't anticipate. I hope they get their act together. It seems like they're doing some pretty severe cost cutting in a way that's not that smart. From what I've heard, the rank and file are quite unhappy with it or getting overworked a lot. So we were in a 30. There was no particular warning for it, but 90 mile an hour zone it is. Hello there, little moonbeam. I agree with your train emoji there. You brake 7 seconds before the stop. That sounds like a pretty good rule of thumb. I tend to just enter stations at 37 miles an hour if I enter the platform at 37. That seems to work pretty well, almost regardless of which train I'm driving, which is amusing, I suppose, unless I had like 90 fully loaded coal hoppers behind me. That probably wouldn't work too well. Next stop is Haywards Heath in 10.71 miles after we pass by 3 bridges and Balcombe. So I'll keep my eye out for those. Heading up towards 90 miles an hour. If you're going to drive steamers, the Flying Scotsman is a good one for many reasons. I agree. It is a beautiful train, as we were discussing last time. I also would like to drive the Tornado at some point, but I have the Flying Scotsman in routes that I own, in rolling stock that I own. I don't have the Tornado, so I will be more than happy to drive the Flying Scotsman, and I'm sure that'll look beautiful racing along. Whether I drive it in its native home or if I try to sneak it into like Penn Station, New York, remains to be seen. That will have to be a decision for another day. Good to have you all with me on this rather warm summer's evening here on the East Coast. East Coast of America, certainly. Not really the East Coast of England, more like the South Coast. Heading up nicely towards that 90 mile an hour limit. Did you hear the PRR-T1 Trust? So that's what I was talking about this in my last video, and I forgot exactly what it was called. Yes, I did. Following Reddit's r/train subreddit, I did indeed see the PRR-T1 Trust. It seems like they have quite a bit of fundraising yet to do, but I'm glad to see that they've pretty much worked out the materials. It seems like they have most of the plans that they need. I saw that they are starting to fabricate the front of the locomotive, so that's some pretty exciting stuff. I just hope that they get the funding that they need to make the project a reality. The Flying Scotsman went to New York once. You don't say. I'm going to have to hear more about that. I hope you can provide me with some more information. This is 3 bridges I just saw. I suspect you might have had a little glitch there. I'm not sure exactly what happened. The stream went offline for 10 seconds, but I'm back. Sorry about that. We've rolled through 3 bridges. And I was saying that you're going to have to definitely tell me about the time that the Flying Scotsman went to New York, because that is not something that I've heard about before. Am I back? If somebody could say yes, you are indeed back and everything is back to normal, I would be grateful. Just to make sure that nothing has remained off. I don't know what was up with that. I have ever unreliable Time Warner cable for my internet. It barely works on the best of days, so one hopes that it's not going to screw up my stream today. Let's get down for that 80. Okay, I'm back. Good. I'm glad that was only a minor glitch there. I'm glad I didn't lose you guys in the meantime. That actually has never happened in my 3.5 previous streams, which surprises me because Time Warner cable is so incredibly unreliable. Let's get down for that 80. Sorry for the little bit of deceleration there, passengers. We just needed to be safe. We need to safely drive our trains today. Next stop is Haywards Heath. Next station to go through is Balcombe before we get to Haywards Heath. It is really getting dark for reals now, so let's be extra vigilant. Favorite EMD GE locomotive? Ooh, that's a tough one. That is a tough one. I'm gonna have to think about that for a second. Favorite for what? Favorite looking? Favorite in terms of power? I guess I'd have to go for looks more than anything. Let's get back up to that 90 mile an hour mark. I mean, we could also go for some of the passenger cab units. Do we want passenger? Do we want freight use? We could go for the turboliner. Really? It was offline again? I didn't even notice that. Not sure what's going on there. Oh, let's see. Let's choose. Oh, I like the GP38. I have a soft spot for the GP38 because Vermont Railways has a number of them, as I recall. I'm not sure that's my favorite, though. How about you guys? Any particular favorites? I mean, the GP40 is such a classic that we could choose that. We could talk about the GP40. It's only 3,000 horsepower, though, so not going to be my choice in terms of power, certainly. I'd have to go for... I mean, if we're going to go with favorite diesel of all time, probably the P42 DC right now, simply because I do spend so much time on... Well, have previously, hopefully in the future once again, spent so much time on Amtrak long-distance trains. SD70 ACE, yeah, that's a good choice. That's a good choice. The ACE is a 4,300 horsepower. Certainly some good power. Any particular reason you choose that one, Counterrail guy? Also, we're down to 80. Let's fix that. Hello, Class 377. I forgot to properly greet you. That's the problem. I'm looking through the Wikipedia page of all the EMDSDs at the moment, so I'm not keeping a good eye on my speed. Power! We're going to be on time, about estimated to be 30 seconds early to Hayward's Heath in 2.5 miles. Now we're going over literally the best viaduct in Train Simulator, but you're not going to be able to see it well because it is nighttime right now. Oh, I guess we can see it a little bit. Let's take a screenshot. Beautiful. NS Heritage units, also a good choice. What about favorite livery? Do you guys have a favorite livery that you think is particularly distinctive? I mean, would it be NS Heritage for you? I have a Chematech colleague and friend. I don't know, do we call him a friend? He's like a friendly troll. He's a captive troll who's sort of a friend and also sort of trolls me, who almost daily sends me a picture of BNSF trains in their modern livery rolling past his office. So, you know, I certainly see a lot of those. It's not really my favorite livery, though. I like the pure red Vermont Railways. I like all the Amtrak liveries. I mean, I have a soft spot simply because I see it so much. Maybe it's Stockholm Syndrome for the current Phase 5B blue and silver livery. It's not my favorite color, but I actually really like the MBTA violet, silver, and gold livery. It's pretty attractive, in my opinion. Oh, you know what I really like? I really like the current Great Western, that deep forest green that the Great Western Railways uses in Britain. Has no care diesels, expect BR Blue Class 37. Yes, we have our not token, but we have our diehard steam fan here. See if we can get ourselves down to a nice 37 to enter the platform for Hayward's Heath. Now it is definitely dark here. Definitely dark indeed. As our 377 consist rolls into Hayward's Heath. Ladies and gentlemen, if your final destination is Hayward's Heath, we ask that you please gather up your belongings and get ready to detrain. Oh, we're going too fast. We are not slowing down fast enough. This is a short platform. I'm concerned. Nah, we'll be okay. We will be fine. These things can move and these things can stop. I always forget that. There's our 8-car marker. Oh well. Bye, 8-car marker. Close enough. Didn't even go into emergency. Hayward's Heath. This station stop is Hayward's Heath. Next stop on this Brighton bound train, next and last stop, is Brighton. Could you do a camera shot when the train takes... When the train takes what? Takes off? Takes off, yes. Yes, I can do that. Let me put us at the end of the platform here. Can watch our train roll past. So I'm pretty tall, so I'll try to put this at eye level. There we go. I may have gotten that a little bit low. I heard our guard give us the okay, so off we go. Please get ready to derail. I hope not. We don't need any more derailments. The New York City subway has had all the derailments we need. I know that was improper use of horn, but I had to do that. Let's put ourselves up to 62%. Yeah. Speed! Of course I'm going to honk the train. Honk the horn, excuse me. And full power. Off you go, Class 377. Off you go. Should we rejoin our train? I mean, we could. Probably want to rejoin the train now. Model trains, yes, that's a great question. That's an excellent question. Also, are my headlights on after we get out of this tunnel? Because those tracks don't look right. My headlights were on. Yeah, they're on. What's going on here? Yes, I do have an interest in model trains. So I prefer N-scale trains. I have had a long, long history of many different types of trains through my life. I started with Duplo trains, I had Lego trains, I had Remco plastic trains, I had plenty of wooden Brio trains, I had HO trains. I eventually got some N-scale trains. My first set was a Bachmann Santa Fe N-scale DC train. For a while there, in my late childhood to young adulthood, I did not have the time or a little bit the inclination for model trains. Recently, with age and income, I've been able to get back into it a bit. I definitely don't have the space at the moment for a layout, unfortunately, although I'd like to fix that in the near future. I do currently focus on N-scale trains because I live in a city. I've been working on collecting what I ride, collecting what I know, so I have a complete N-scale Acela train, all 8 cars, so that's 2 power cars, 3 business class cars, cafe car, and business class car, and cafe car. I'm working actually on making that more prototypical by putting motors in the power cars. I think I talked about that in a previous video, so you might be hearing me repeating myself if you've been an avid watcher. I saw a whistleboard there. I should probably pay attention to it. Where was I? Acela, yes. So Acela trains. I received for Christmas on my request an ACS 64 with 4 Amfleet coaches for Northeast Corridor / Vermonter Adventures. We are now rolling through Wivelsfield. It's a fun station name. I also have a P42 DC that I spent a great deal of time modifying with a DCC decoder and all of the necessary little tiny SMD LEDs to give it prototypical ditch lights, headlights, and tail lights. I have assorted freight cars, whatever we want to call them. We're in Britain, so I thought I would use the British word, but let's call them the American thing, freight cars. I've been looking at Code 55 tracks. So I definitely don't want to do something. So I want to model the Vermonter route. So New York Penn Station to New Haven to Essex Junction, Vermont, in some particular configuration. How I'm actually going to pack that in and make it work remains to be seen. I'm sorry to hear that Conrail guy. I'm sorry to hear about him passing away. I was not really inspired by anyone in particular to trains. I just kind of loved trains from an early age. I took a lot of trains. I rode a lot of subways, obviously. Metro North. Oops, that was me hitting my finger on the keyboard. Long Island Railroad, Amtrak as a child. I would go to Strasburg, Pennsylvania frequently. I went to many other train museums and model train layouts and everything all over the Northeast. So I was definitely a train kid for sure. And now I'm a train adult, even though it lulled for a little bit. I spent a great deal of time designing my own railroad, the Central Park Railroad, named because its headquarters were in Central Park, but it was aimed to be a worldwide railroad. I still want to actually have my own personal train car that I call CPRR1, the Central Park Railroad 1. I have extensive, increasingly complex designs for how exactly I'm going to do that. Yes, Hornbys. Hornbys are beautiful stuff. We were talking about that in my last stream about Hornby and its history. By the way, if you enjoy Hornby trains and you enjoy model trains and you enjoy Top Gear or just James May, I definitely recommend you look at James May's The Disassembler series, where he took apart a beautiful antique Hornby steam locomotive, cleaned it out and put it back together. A fun video indeed. Oh, and I was going to say, I need to answer what you said, the last millennial, soon. If you're curious about my various model train related projects, so my Acela consist, my P42 work, and I don't think I posted anything about my ACS 64 with its down fleets. There are topics on the Chemetech forum. That's CEMETECH.net if you guys are not familiar with it. I have topics there, and if you guys have train related things you'd like to post, I'm trying to expand our train section. So if you'd like to share your model train collection or interesting real life train photos or adventures or videos, please do post them there. I do not have an HST. I love the HST. I've driven it a shockingly, depressingly few number of times in Train Simulator. I need to fix that. I do love the HST though. I played it more and more frequently and sooner rather. So I actually also really love the Class 801. Among other things, the front of the 801 power car resembles what CPR R1 is supposed to look like. So I have a very soft spot for the Class 801 in its original white Hitachi livery. Although, since I was talking earlier about the mint green, forest green Great Western livery, I do love the Class 801, 802 in that beautiful dark green livery as well. By the way, we have 4.5 miles till Brighton as we've been rolling along through this darkness. So hopefully everything goes well. There's a 75-mile-an-hour limit coming up, so let's be aware of that. What kind of model trains do you guys have? So JMO444, you have an E2 shunter. Do you have any other? I assume you have a bunch of steam trains, or is that an incorrect assumption? Conrail guy, what about you? What do you have exactly? And I need to now answer the last millennial while I wait for you guys to answer. The CSE train. So what what the last millennial is talking about is one of my primary hobbies is graphing calculators, programming and hacking graphing calculators. So this weekend I went to a friend's house, Geekboy 1011 out in New Jersey. He comes with me every year to Maker Faire, World Maker Faire in New York City, where we show off a lot of cool graphing calculator hacking projects, like getting them to go on the internet, getting them to network with each other, putting cool games on them, getting them to control LEDs and motors and switches and stuff. And then this year we're going to show off a project, let's decelerate, where we use a graphing calculator as a DCC throttle for some model trains. So we were hacking on that this weekend, and we posted a bit on the Chemetech forum about our progress with that. I've done some work with controlling model trains with graphing calculators before, but it's been using an Arduino as an interface between the calculator and the trains. So a little bit of cheating indeed. This time we're trying to bit bang the DCC protocol directly from the calculator, which is a much more technically impressive feat. I do have Train Sim World, the original beta of CSX Heavy Haul. Since that was just a beta, it's unfortunately disabled now, so I can't actually play it anymore. I was saying earlier in the stream that I found it to be very heavy on my system, even though I have a powerful graphics card and 5 monitors. So I'm hoping by the time the new Great Western Train Sim World version comes out that they'll have optimized it a bit. Conrail-8, that doesn't surprise me given your username. You have an E2, a single wheeler, and a 4F. Good stuff, good stuff. I see where your loyalties lie. What do you have with your -8, Conrail guy? You said your HO. Do you have a layout set up, or do you just set your trains up every once in a while? Let's get down for that 40, by the way. NJT Alp 45 DP and a 6-car bi-level coach set. Very nice indeed. So I drove the Alp 45 DP a few times in Train Simulator. I have the North Jersey coastline, and I hope to get back to it at some point. I've only recorded one North Jersey coast video on my channel. One graphics card is not enough. I need at least 3. Yes, clearly I need to get some multi-card action going. All right, we're pretty much down for that 40. I have an AMD 6970. It's actually a 6950 that's unlocked to be a 69. Oops, let's not speed. Come on. There we go. Good. A Radeon HD 6970 essentially with 6 outputs. So I have 5 monitors and a projector. I generally only use the 5 monitors. As I said in my last stream, I unfortunately have to limit myself to just 1 monitor for recording the stream. The stresses of simultaneously encoding, transmitting, and saving my video makes it not so happy with me spreading my game across 5 monitors, but when I can, it is just beautiful. It is a wonder to behold. It is so fun to play, and basically what's like real life size for Train Simulator. So my plan is at some point to put my phone or maybe a better camera behind me and record myself playing a route in Train Simulator 2017 across all 5 of my monitors for your guys' enjoyment. You have a layout, NSF7A, good stuff, good stuff. How big is your layout, Conrail guy? Let's get down for that 25. We do have a yellow there. All right, we're good. What that AMD card is in NVIDIA terms? You know, that's a good question. I don't actually know the answer to what the equivalent NVIDIA card would be. Oh, I love the Chessie. Oh, that's another great livery. While we're talking about beautiful liveries, I love the old Chessie Systems livery. It's a great color scheme, and I love the sleeping cat on it. And just the idea that implies like so smooth that a cat could sleep is awesome. I love it. Some good marketing on the Chessie people's part. Oh yeah, you talked about the Triang stuff last time. That's right. That is good stuff as well. Pardon me a second, ladies and gentlemen. We are now arriving at Brighton Terminal, Brighton Platform 5. This is the last stop on this Class 377 service from London Victoria to Brighton. We ask that everyone detrain at this station. Please make sure you have all of your personal belongings with you. Southern is not responsible for any personal belongings left on the train. We hope you have a pleasant evening, and thank you for riding Southern. This seems like a great place to stop, right a bit roughly at the buffers. Excuse me. And the doors are open. Why not just trade in those monitors for a VR headset? You know, maybe you're joking, maybe you're not, but that's actually definitely something I want. For my professional life, I'm trying to weasel my way into getting a HoloLens. That's not exactly, for other reasons. I know that's not going to be the VR headset I need for gaming. A Vive certainly seems like it might be a good option for me, especially since Train Simulator World is, built in an engine that actually supports virtual reality. Thank you, Outside Motorcycle. Thank you so much. That's a motorcycle. You have successfully completed the journey to Brighton. Well done. You got a Vive. Excellent. 2 Bachmann. Ooh, 484 is very nice. Very nice. Yeah, so Wyatt, that's definitely something I need. But Train Simulator doesn't actually support, VR. Train Simulator. Oops, I clicked outside the screen. Final destination reached. Yes, I'm aware. Thank you. So if Train Simulator, this one scored 793. What? Pretty sure I only lost 36 points. Let's take a look through this. Oh, lateness. Oh, I was late to Brighton. That's where all my points went. And I was late to Hayward's Heath. See, I was so busy talking to you guys, I missed the fact that I was late. Oh, no. 44 seconds late to Brighton, in fact. Well, that's what I get for not staying close enough to the speed limit the whole time. I also have a Google Cardboard, but I tend not to count that. GS4, number 4446. If you guys ever spot P42DC Amtrak number 99 in the wild, please feel free to take a photograph of it and send it along to me, because I have one photograph where I had ridden a Vermonter, northbound Vermonter, with 99, and I didn't realize what I had taken a picture of, that I had been riding it, because my N-scale P42DC is number 99, and I would definitely like to have more photographs of 99, the little one, with number 99, the big one. I have one photograph of 99, the little one, with another full-size P42DC, but it's not number 99, sadly. Sad but true. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid, because it is a work night and I have a bunch of work tasks still to finish off for the evening. This is the life of a startup founder. I'm afraid that I need to call it a night, even though I desperately want to play some more Train Simulator. I hope you will all subscribe, not just so I get a subscriber count up, because, whatever, but mostly because I, want to actually have you guys be around for the next videos. It's been a lot of fun having you guys for accompaniment along the way. You've seen it. You've seen number 99? Really? Mildly joking. Gear VR. So I do have the gear because I recently was the happy recipient of a free Galaxy 8 phone. I haven't actually tested the Gear VR headset, though. I should actually, you've reminded me, I should bring that to the office tomorrow and give it a try, see how it works out for me. USB compatible. Indeed. So as I was saying, it's been really great having you guys here and talking model trains and full-size trains, especially in the latter half of this video. Let me know if there's a good way to reach you guys in the future to let you know when I'm going to be starting a new stream. I generally do use YouTube gaming. That seems to be working pretty well for me. I don't seem to have any particular reason to switch away from that. So, if there's a way for that to notify you, feel free. I might also, if you guys weigh in and say it's something that would interest you, I can post on my Twitter feed when I'm going to be live streaming. That is KermMartian, KermMartian, like somebody named Kerm who is from Mars. That is my Twitter handle. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I look forward to having you guys join me again in the future. Please do, if this is your first time, look back at some of my previous train simulator videos and feel free to leave some feedback there or here about what you'd like to see me play in the future, what you think of the live streaming format, and what else you would like to see on the channel. I hope you guys all have an excellent evening. Please do also stop by Chematech if you get a chance and post up some of your train stuff if you'd like, and or check out some of the projects we have going on there. Anyway, enough of the long goodbye. Have a great evening, guys. See you in the next video.